welcome to Cooking with Tea. My name is Tiana G. As you can see, we're making pumpkin tings because the holiday season is here. Today we're gonna be making vegan pumpkin cinnamon rolls. Vegan, I know, my vegan friends, y'all been missing out. I got it for you guys this time, okay? This is the first of many, and it's great for the holidays. You can make this at your Friendsgiving, at your family giving, whatever. This is a great recipe. I hope you guys enjoy it. So if you guys don't know this, cinnamon rolls are a yeast risen product. So that means it's gonna take a while for you to do. So if you wanna do this recipe, I would block out a part of your day just to be like, all right, I'm gonna make these today, I'm gonna chill and whatever. The first thing I'm gonna do with you guys is the dough. So it's a yeast risen dough, as I said. So our milk has to be warm to touch or else the yeast will not activate. We're gonna wake the yeast up with some warmth and some sugar. We're gonna need 2 bowls. Got 1 bowl here and another bowl here. So in the wet bowl, we're gonna go ahead and add our warm almond milk. In this case, if you don't have almond milk, you can use water. We're gonna add our yeast and we're gonna mix it. We are going to feed our yeast with a little bit of sugar. You can tell the yeast is alive and ready when it's bubbling. It's pretty much breathing at this point. It's alive. It's alive! So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add the dry ingredients into our dry ingredients bowl. We're gonna start with our flour. We're gonna add our nutmeg, cloves, and salt. Sugar. Now that the yeast is ready to go, it's alive, it's activated, we're gonna go ahead and add our pumpkin puree. I made pumpkin puree from scratch. It's not something you need to do. I just did it because I enjoy picking pumpkins and doing the whole thing from scratch. One thing that's super awesome about this though is that you get your own pumpkin seeds, and I toasted mine. And I think it's gonna add a great nuttiness because you know when you eat a cinnamon roll, you get like a walnut or a pecan or something in there. I wanted to go crazy pumpkin, and that's why we're doing pumpkin seeds. Now we're gonna focus on the wet ingredients. We're gonna add our pumpkin puree and our melted butter into the yeast. Now that the wet is one and now the dry is all together, we are going to incorporate them together. So we're gonna make a well in the middle of our dry ingredient bowl. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna add our pumpkin yeast mixture into the dry ingredients. I personally, once it's at this point, I like to just get in there with my hands. So at this point, I'm just gonna scrape everything off of the spatula and I'm gonna knead it into the bowl just to incorporate it a little bit more before I put it on the counter. The dough is ready to go, so we're gonna knead it by hand on the counter. I'm using the palm of my hand, I'm pushing upward, folding the dough in half, turning it and repeating. When you're kneading your dough, you don't wanna add too much flour because if you add too much flour in the end, they're gonna become really, really tough and dense versus making them really light and fluffy by adding the right amount of flour. You know your dough is ready when you slightly touch it with your finger and the indentation springs back. So now we're gonna put the dough in the bowl and we're gonna plastic wrap it. We're gonna wait until it doubles in size. It could take about 25 to 40 minutes depending on where you store your dough. You should store it in a draft-free, dry place. All right, the dough has doubled in size. We're gonna take it out on the counter. We're gonna give it another knead. We're gonna start to roll our dough out. We're looking to get our dough into like a rectangular shape because it's just gonna make everything else easier for us. So what I like to do is just pick the dough up while you're rolling because the dough could stick to the surface and then it's just gonna make everything not fun. Now that our dough is rolled out into somewhat of a rectangle, we're gonna mix our filling ingredients together. We're gonna lay it out on our dough and then we're gonna roll it up. This part is really important because we have to make sure the dough is rolled out into somewhat of a rectangular shape because this is what the start of our rolls are gonna look like. For the filling, we have pumpkin puree, brown sugar, some spices, melted butter, and I'm gonna add some pumpkin seeds. Now that our filling is all mixed up, we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna lather it onto the dough. We're leaving a border around the edges so it's easier for us to roll. Now that we have our filling and our pumpkin seeds on, we're just gonna roll up the rolls. So now that we rolled up our roll, we're gonna just cut it and we're gonna put it into our casserole dish. You wanna cut very lightly. If you press down too hard, it's gonna give the roll a square shape, and rolls are not a square shape. Now that our rolls are in our dish, we're gonna wait for them to rise about 20 minutes. While that's happening, we're gonna go ahead and make our icing. Our icing just pretty much is powdered sugar, almond milk, melted butter, and a little bit of vanilla. So you just wanna pretty much whisk your icing until the powdered sugar is dissolved and it's really nice and velvety, and it'll just fall off of your whisk or whatever utensil you're using. So our icing is ready to go. It's pretty much really velvety, free of lumps, sugar is dissolved. Our rolls have risen. They've been sitting for about 25 minutes and our oven has been preheated to 375. Cinnamon rolls are going in. So the rolls are going to the oven at 375 and we're gonna bake them for about 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm just plating the cinnamon rolls right now. I'm taking them out while they're really hot because you wanna be able to ice them when they're hot. So it just like really coats it and they're ooey and gooey. So we got the rolls out, they're super hot, they're ready to go. I got my icing. We're gonna go ahead and start to glaze these guys. Yo, this is it right here. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. The recipe's down below. Peace, love, and blessings.